Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my foundation roundup review. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be a roundup review of 13 foundations that I've tried recently. I already posted reviews for all of these over on the blog, so I'll make sure to have any links in the description box down below. So if you want to see swatches and what these look like on my face and what the coverage is like, that you can have all of that in one nice little overview. So those already have posts dedicated to them. So today I'm just going to be ranking these from my least favorite to my favorite foundation that I have tried in, I think, the past 6 months, because this took some time to try it all. Before we get into the video though, it may be good to know who I am and what I like doing on this channel. My name is Maaike, I live in the Netherlands, I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup. I have been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. I love trying out eyeshadow palettes, Esses and Catrice, and getting the use out of my makeup. So if that's something you're interested in, I hope you'd like to consider subscribing. So yes, a quick little foundation ranking of 13 foundations I tried recently. These are the last 13 foundations I tried. There is a mix here of both drugstore and high-end foundations, and we'll see where things have ended up in the ranking for sure. A lot of these I loved formula-wise. Formula-wise, there is nothing wrong here. The ones where I didn't enjoy the formula all that much, those are the things that are in the bottom half, and then we'll work our way up towards the things that I think are a nice formula, but don't have a great shade for me. And then we'll get to the couple of things that I truly loved, both shade and formula-wise. So that's sort of how the ranking came about. In 13th place, the thing I liked the least was this. This is from Kruidvat. This is a Dutch drugstore brand. It's their Perfect Smooth Skin Tint 4-in-1 in shade Fair. This was not a good look. I tried it, and it's Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse in a tube. That's how I feel when I put this on my skin. It feels heavy, it feels thick, it feels cakey. The shade wasn't great for me. It was far too orange, and it just really didn't work. It does say blurring effect, semi-transparent matte finish that is long lasting. I've got pretty dry skin, so I'm always looking for something dewy and lightweight. I don't love a matte formula usually, and I sometimes try them just to give them a whirl, just to see if I might like it a little bit, but this was really not good for me. In 12th place, we have this. This is the Trended Up Hydra Stay Silky Serum Foundation. And Trended Up, including the little breakage of the cap here, is a German drugstore brand that is sold at Day M, which is the German drugstore. And I bought this over the summertime, thinking that way I can try another drugstore foundation, because I do like trying them. But finding my shade can be a challenge. This is in the lightest shade possible, 005, and it's far too orange for me. The formula also wasn't great, because this promises, like name-wise, it has hyaluronic acid, some vitamin complexes included in this, and Hydra Stay Silky Serum makes me think this is going to be a hydrating formula, and it really wasn't. So for me, this just wasn't great at all. Number 11 then. Number 11 then is another Kruidvat one. This was better for me than the skin tint was. This is the Stay With Me Radiant Matte Serum Foundation in 012. I think 012 is like fair blush. It is a really nice shade. It is a little bit more cool toned, which I really appreciated, because this was like $4.99 at the Dutch drugstore. It was very cheap. And as far as this product goes, when it goes on the first time, I like it. It looks really pretty on the skin upon first application. However, it oxidizes on me, so that really nice shade match that it has at first doesn't really last very long. And because this is also a matte formula, I feel that around my nose and some of my dry patches, this got a little bit like dry and cakey looking as the day wore on. So this didn't make me feel great. It just needed touching up throughout the day. And I'm a teacher. I don't have time for that. So that's why the Stay With Me by Kruidvat, it was a good first impression at first, but this is why whenever I do foundation reviews, I tend to first show you things very often, like something like this. I've put on my face in a first impression, and then I'll come back later and let you know a little bit more about it, because very often with foundation, I just feel I need to put it through its paces and wear it for at least a week for me to really see how it wears and tears throughout the day. Can I wear it to a workout class? Can I wear it to a work day and then go out to a concert afterwards? Those to me are hallmarks of a good foundation if it still lasts that long. I need to get 12 plus hours of wear out of a foundation easily, else it's not good in my book. And that one didn't wear very well. Then a foundation that, again, from the drugstore that I was super excited for was by Collection. I picked this up in London last year. This is the Hydrate Hydra Serum foundation with hyaluronic acid. And this, I don't even know why they decided to call this hydrating, because it wasn't very hydrating on me. I felt that this was very difficult to blend, especially. And very often with hydrating foundations, it feels like putting on moisturizer, and with this it just wasn't. This is in shade 4 Extra Fair, and it's actually too light for me. I found a foundation at the drugstore that is too light for me, and this didn't have any testers in store, so I couldn't swatch it, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, the Collection foundation had a lot of, like, the way this was promoted when I saw this bottle in store was like, ooh, that's gonna be perfect for me. I didn't look this up. I didn't know anything about it going into it, and I think that this is great if you have oily skin, but for me, it wasn't good. The biggest disappointment then in spot number 9 is the Glossier Stretch foundation. The Glossier Stretch concealer is one of my all-time favorite products. This, I wanted to love so badly. I got mine in shade Very Light 4, because when I judged the different pictures online, this looked to be very much like people with my skin tone that they put this on. On me, it looks 3 shades too dark. So it could have been because I bought this online that I made that mistake myself, but I went into store to swatch this and see if I actually made that big of a mistake myself. No. This shade range just doesn't come in a lot of undertones. Everything looks yellow. Everything looks yellow. Even if they call something neutral or cool, it still looks yellow on my skin tone. So that's, again, another reason why I think it's safe to say that I'm a more cool tone person for sure, because these just don't work for me very well. I love the formula though. This is so hydrating and dewy. This touches all the things I wanted this foundation to touch, save for a shade match. And going down in this, like I said, I swatched it in store, and going down would not have been the option, even though there are 3 lighter shades. Then something that surprised me. This was a very pleasant surprise when I was using it, and it's by Kiko, so also drugstore price point. This is their Nourishing Perfection foundation in CR15. That's the shade range right here. I believe this is the lightest shade. I'm not sure anymore. And this is a compact foundation. So it is a little like thing like that. And then it has a cream. And I was like, is that gonna work on my dry skin? And it does. It works on my dry skin. You can see that it looks very yellow and dark on the edges, but you can see where I've stuck my finger in that it looks a lot lighter, and that shade, that's the shade that it goes on as. So I feel it looks darker in the pan than when you actually use it. And formula-wise, this worked really well. On the go, traveling with this, or taking it with you to touch up your foundation throughout the day, brilliant. But as a standalone, this is the only foundation I'm going to use that week kind of product, I felt a little less excited for it. So even though it's a good product, I don't rate it as highly as some of the other things I've tried by the same brand. Because try Kiko foundations, I did. In number 6, the number 6 spot, we have the Unlimited foundation. This is a long wear comfort foundation, and this is in shade, does it say? 1N. 1N. This does come in undertones. It comes in a lot more shades than I've seen Kiko Milano do. And this was lovely. For a long wear satin matte finish foundation, I didn't hate it. But this is not my kind of foundation. I think this is great if you want a workhorse foundation in your makeup collection. If you want something that lasts all day, that doesn't budge. On me, it started to look a little bit dry after like 4 or 5 hours of wear. So I couldn't get the longevity out of it that I wanted it, because I need my foundations to be more hydrating for it to look great throughout the rest of the day. This just wasn't great from that perspective. I wore it on some days where I thought my skin looked great, and then on others, I didn't love it as much. I think that this is a really, really good foundation for most people though. If you have normal to oily skin, you are absolutely going to adore it. It wasn't quite right for me, but I still think this product is really, really excellent. And then I said that was number 6. That wasn't number 6. That was number 7, because this is number 6. I was like, to round out the top 10, whatever. This is Jones Road What the Foundation in the shade Porcelain. In case you are unfamiliar with this product, let me open it up for you. Mine looks a bit gross because I've used it, but you essentially take a little spatula to this to scoop out some of this product, and then you can apply it like you do a moisturizer. I definitely apply this with fingers, and that's what I would recommend you do as well. Don't apply it like the girlies on TikTok did, smearing it all over their face. That's not what this is intended to be used as. This comes with a bunch of product. It comes with 35 grams, which is quite a lot. I only need I need a pinprick of product with this for it to look nice. For no makeup days, this is excellent. It just smells like oranges. So if you don't like scented makeup, you're probably not gonna like this. I like this. It looks very, very dewy. The shade is really nice for me. Be it a touch yellow perhaps, but I ended up really enjoying this product for sure. A lot more than I had expected as well. It's definitely a bit of a weird one, but this, for light days where you don't want to do a whole lot, this is really, really pretty. And I think if you have mature skin and you struggle with dryness, this is one of the most hydrating formulas that I've ever used, because essentially it's a tinted moisturizer, but like a foundation. It's a weird product, and I think that it's a very polarizing product as well. I think you either love this or you hate it. I ended up being on the loving this side of the spectrum, but I've definitely tried other foundations that I liked just a little bit more. Which brings us to the top 5, and we're gonna start the top 5 off with this one. This is the Erborian CC Red Correct. And this is a product that I was using, especially when I was traveling in April. And let me tell you, this was great for travel. I felt that when I was using this, I didn't even really need a concealer. It does have a green tone at first, but then when you rub it in, again, I use fingers to apply this, it definitely has a more foundation-like shade. So I feel that the green part of this is perhaps a little bit of a gimmick. I'm not entirely sure because it doesn't like stay green or anything like this. It's not as if when you put this on, you look like the She-Hulk or something. But this, I do feel, is a touch too yellow for me. So it's still very much like top 5 favorites of the roundup I'm doing here. I love that I got the travel size. This is definitely also the thing I'm going to be traveling with over the summer. It's small, it's easy to use. It even has SPF. Yes, SPF 25, so a little bit of SPF there. And I just thought it made my skin look great for just going about town and doing some sightseeing. So a great travel product for me as well, but I definitely think that on days where I want to sit down and do my makeup, which when I travel, I never do. I just want to get out the door and like see all the sights. I just don't have the patience for it. But yeah, I definitely think that this is a good product for that sort of like no makeup kind of thing, which is why it's like on par for me with how I would use the Jones Road What the Foundation. So that's why those two are like in the middle. Because this, it can be a bit too yellow, but I think for the summertime it's fine. And with the Jones Road, it's a bit more of a faff to use because you need the little spatula. But this is definitely a really lovely product as well. I really enjoy this. Maybe I can scoop some of the Jones Road out and like put it into a little jar for travel as well. I think that can definitely be done. But yeah, the CC Red Correct from Erborian, I think is a really, really good product. I don't think I'll get the full size if I ever run out of this. I have plenty of foundation to come by. And I'm currently testing out all of these K-Beauty Cushion foundations because that was something I wanted to try as well. This is also K-Beauty, of course. But yeah, I liked it enough. It's definitely going to stay in my collection. And I think that this product is really unique, and for travel, it's excellent. And something that I ended up liking a lot more than I had expected is this. This is the Eveline Cosmetics Wondermatch Lumi foundation. This is in the shade 05 Light Neutral, and this was excellent. I think this is a really good foundation. Eveline Cosmetics is a Polish drugstore brand, and they do quite a lot of base products, and I tried their Wondermatch, like the regular version, last year or the year before that. I don't remember. And I remember thinking this is a really good formula, but I didn't buy quite the right shade for me. Again, I can only get this online. I can't swatch it, so it's always sort of like, what do I go for? It was far too yellow, and that's the only reason why I don't love this more, and it doesn't go into the top 3, because this is also slightly too yellow for me. It's 05 Light Neutral, and I think you can see, but this is definitely light enough, which at the drugstore, something that's light enough for me, that doesn't make me look like an Oompa Loompa. And this, with the rest of my makeup done, bronzer, all the 9 yards, I think works really well. I had this in my Shop My Stash at the same time as the Kiko Unlimited foundation, and I like this a little bit better than the Kiko because this made my skin look a lot more natural. I like the Lumi finish that this has. This definitely is more that dewiness that I personally like in a foundation, and that's why I really wanted to rate this one pretty high in this ranking today. But the top 3 starts off with this guy, the Essence Skin Tint in shade 10 Fair. This, I think, is, again, quite a polarizing product. I've definitely heard of people saying that it doesn't work for them at all, but I'm definitely someone who feels this really works great for. It's definitely more of like a tinted moisturizer-like product. I do feel that it's also quite hydrating, so this may not be good for you if you have oily skin. I think it can break up too quickly for people with oily skin, but for me, it had the hydrating natural finishes that this promises to have. It had good wearability. I could wear this all day. It never felt sticky. It never felt weird, and this is the lightest shade they do. And you might think, Micah, isn't that too dark for you? But where some of the other shades I mentioned oxidized and became too dark for me, this does the opposite. I have found with especially drugstore foundations that the shade, when I put it on, it turns lighter. This one goes lighter when I blend it in. And then it looks really nicely. Again, a touch too yellow, which is why the next 2 are my top 2 favorite. And I couldn't really decide what was going to be my top favorite, what was going to be my number 2, my number 1, but I decided to go and put the Hauslabs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the number 2 spot. This is great. This is definitely worth the hype, but I think you need to have dry skin to enjoy this. I definitely think you do. It's got a really good inclusive shade match. That's one of the things. However, because it is so inclusive, it can be very difficult to find your shade. When I was looking at this online, I was looking at shades that were called like cool. And when I went in store and was shade matched by the lady in Sephora, I came away with shade. Hold on. This is shade 060 Fair Warm. Fair Warm, but look at how pink this looks. Like, compared to like the Glossier, do you see how pink this is? This is really lovely, but what it does, like MAC, is that the W shades are the cool toned ones, and the cool toned shades are the yellow toned ones. So I feel that that's very confusing because they call this a warm tone, but it's definitely not a warm tone at all. And like I said, I was shade matched to this in store, and I'm really glad I did, because else this would have been a very expensive mistake to make. But I love the formula. This is definitely something where I feel like this is something I've never used before. Like there's true innovation in this product. And when I was using this, I definitely felt that this was something different compared to other foundations I've tried. So I definitely understand the hype. I really love it. What I don't love, I'm not sure if you can see here, but my letters are rubbing off already. Like, they're damaged, the H and the S. So the letters kind of like when you touch it, it like feels like raised on the bottle. So I definitely feel that the lettering could have been done a little bit better, perhaps, because if I spend this much money on a foundation, I want the foundation to keep looking nice. But yeah, this was lovely. I really enjoy mine, and I definitely think the Hauslabs foundation is worth the hype if you have dry skin. And then the number one, I've already mentioned this a couple of times in the past couple of weeks, but this Instamoisture Glow Kiko Milano Shade 1R. This is stunning. I loved it. I really like the original Instamoisture, but now they do a glowy version. I'm a convert. This is going to be like the only Kiko foundation I need to keep around for the rest of my existence. And this is one where I'm like, yeah, I can see myself committing to this and using it up. I pick 1 or 2 foundations every year that I feel I want to get more use out of to try and attempt to use it up. This year it's an Estee Lauder foundation and a Giorgio Armani one that I have like clocked as things I want to get through first. But this one could be one that in the future, when it gets a little bit older, I want to go back to and use it again because it's just so good. This definitely lives up to like higher end brands. I've mentioned a lot about Kiko, how I feel they do a lot of products that are similar to higher end products as well. And I feel this gives me Armani Luminous Silk vibes, but at the drugstore. And the 1R shade in Kiko is really good for me as well. It is their more cool tone one. And I think this even comes in 2 other shades as well. There's like a 1N and a 1CR even, I think. I'm not sure entirely, but I don't think this was the lightest shade per se. Yeah, I like this. It's dewy, it's glowy, it's lightweight, it lasts all day. It does everything I need a foundation to do. And to find it at the drugstore for under 20 euros makes me very happy. Happier than with something like the Hauslabs. So that's why this one gets to go on top. So there you have it, my quick little foundation ranking. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video today. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more by me. I make several videos every single week, so if you'd like to stay tuned. And as I mentioned, I also have a blog where all of these have already been reviewed. So I'll make sure to link you to all of those in the description box down below. So if you want to see swatches and the coverage and the shade match, you can see it in all its glory. And yeah, if you want to shop these, then there will be links in the description box as well. But please be mindful, if you shop through those links, it could mean that I make a small commission, just so you know. So yeah, thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you have a great one, and then I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.